Yo, I'm back with another vlog, and this one is pretty cool. We're playing at a new room on the channel. I was actually lucky enough to play at the first public game at all here at Poker House. I was on the very first table right as it opened up. So here's some background shots of what the room looks like for some of my Dallas folk. And I was really excited for this one. I watched a lot of those Gil Jack early vlogs when he was playing here, and I wanted to play here, but I never got to. So really excited for this one. We're in for 300. Also, by the way, this is vlog 50. I run into a lot of y'all nowadays, and every time I see one of y'all, you show me that you've watched all the videos, which means a ton because there's been a lot. So thank y'all for the support. We're so close to 4K. Let's get there. And enough of the talk. Let's get into the vlog. All right, so the first hand we look down at is Jack 10 suited. Really pretty hand. I'm in the big blind. I pop it up to $15 and get 2 calls. The flop comes Jack 10 9. Wow, that seems like it could be a pretty action flop. I go about half pot here for $30. The first guy folds and the second guy puts in the call, who I recognize as a pretty aggressive TCH regular, so want to be a little cautious here. And cautious is what I need to be, as the turn is the king of spades. Oh, that's gross. Now any queen makes a straight. I check and he checks behind. Well, if I was worried about him having a queen, I guess I should have one too, as the river is the queen of spades. We're now playing the board. That is not ideal. But as I said, I know this guy. He's aggressive. So I'm pretty sure on the button he would be opening any ace or any decent ace. So who's more likely to have the nut straight here? Me. So I put in a bet for $50, expecting it to work a lot of the time. And he looks at me and goes, "Yeah, buddy, I'm all in." I cannot call here. I mean, we're literally playing the board. I fold. He shows it to the guy on his right, which is another guy I recognize, and he kind of chuckles. Later on, I was informed this was a bluff, which, if it is, that is fantastic, because that is a suicidal bluff, in my opinion. I'm telling you I have an ace, and most of the time I will. So, really nice hand to him, if that's really what he did. But regardless, he got us off at least a chop. We win a few small ones as we open queen 8 of spades, flop a flush draw and a gutter, bet pretty big on the flop for 45, get some folds, bet pocket 9s pre-flop, flop an overpair, bet, get some folds, and then that brings us into this next hand. One thing I want to mention is there is a button straddle for ultimate last, love that, and the bomb pots are PLO, so I don't think I've got a PLO hand in this vlog, but I do have another vlog here where we are going to have some PLO hands, so just so you know, I'm under the gun here with king 10 of spades, on the lighter side of my under the gun opens, but I open for $15. Get 3 callers. Looking to hit a favorable flop here, out of position to most people. How about 10-3-7 with 2 diamonds? I mean, I didn't open king 10 to flop top pair, great kicker, or not bet, so I continue for $30 and only get a call from one guy who is the only real short stack at the table, so not really that big of a deal. I'm probably going to jam any turn, to be honest with you. And the king of diamonds is one of those that I think it's definitely going to happen. Now, obviously the flush got there, but if he has a flush, he has a flush. If I check and he bets, am I going to fold? I mean, he's just not deep enough. The answer is no. I stick it in there, and he doesn't snap call and doesn't snap fold, which is a good thing. Indicates he doesn't have a flush or a set. So we obviously have the best hand, and we're rooting for a call. He only has about $40 behind. There's a bunch of ones, so it's around that area. We do want to call. And eventually he says, it's not worth it, and puts in the fold. So I wonder if he just had like a 7 or a worse 10, but regardless, we're taking down another pot. We haven't had any blockbuster hands yet, but boy, that is about to change. I've got ace-8 offsuit, not a great hand, but a guy opens to $15. I feel like putting in the call. And then the guy we just beat min raises to 30. Another 1-2 classic here, if you will. It gets back to the original opener, and I can just see him thinking about putting in a light 4-bet to get me out. I can literally see him thinking in his head, boy, this guy's got nothing. I want to go heads up. I might even take it down now. But eventually, he just puts in the call. He is an aggressive reg, so I am wary that I could definitely be good with ace-8 anyways. I call as well to a flop of 8 ace deuce. That is what I'm talking about. We flop top 2 pair in a 3-bet pot. It checks and flows to the 3-better, and he continues for $50. It gets around to the guy that originally opened, and I'm thinking, please have an ace, because this guy is really aggressive. He raises to 175. All I can think about is Vegas and the Mirage and going all in. I've got 282. There's no reason to slow play it. I ship it on in there. The first guy calls for less, and then it gets back to the guy that bet for 175, and he starts talking to himself, and it is what it looks like, an ace, just an ace. And eventually, I think it gets to the point where he realizes the price is too good, and he sticks in the call. We have a three-way all-in here with top 2 pair in a massive pot. The guy that was a 3-better who called my 282 first has pocket jacks. And then the other guy doesn't show his hand but starts chanting for a 10. So we need to dodge jacks, 10s, and an overcard pairing twice. Let's see if we can do it.
One time?
Yeah. Max pay.
No, 9.
We hold. Let's go. I was actually having a little bit of a slump that week. I was losing a lot of all-in pots, and it was kind of getting to me. So really happy we held here. I would have been super disappointed if a 9, jack, or 10 came. But yeah, holding up in a massive pot, and the stack is looking like this. You love to see it. I've got pocket 4s under the gun. I pop it up to $13. There's 2 callers, and then it gets to the cutoff. Sean, who is a vlog watcher that plays higher games than I do, and he 3-bets to $55. Now, I'm going to be real. I just have not been folding pairs pre-flop the last month or two, and it's been working out because I've been hitting a lot of sets, so I'm not folding. He's deep as well. I put in the call, and one of the 2 flat callers of my bet call as well. So 3 ways to a flop with 4s. We all know what I want to see. How about a flop of deuce, king, deuce? Well, that is not it. I check. The second guy checks, and surprisingly, Sean is very aggressive. He checks as well. So I think he whiffed, and he got spooked by 2 people calling the 3-bet. And, do we have the best hand? Do we not? How do we play turns? Well, it doesn't even matter. The turn is the 4 of hearts. If this was a Wolfgang vlog, I believe that would be a bang moment. Wow, we fill up, and it seems like a bettable spot, right? But both the guys behind me are really aggressive. So I check, laying the trap, hoping someone will fall in. It checks to Sean, who I think if he's got a pair, he's going to bet like 9s or 10s, thinking he wants to protect it. And if he's got nothing, I think he's going to bet as a bluff. But he doesn't. He checks behind. The river is the 5 of hearts, and now I think it's time to spring into action. If I bet here, it's going to look really weird. What am I suddenly waking up with? So I blast out for 125. The first guy snap folds. That's not great. And then it gets to the Sean in the cutoff, and he starts to think about it. I'm like, think long, think wrong. Put in the call. Eventually, he makes a decision, and he folds. Disappointing. Really well played to him. But turning a full house, that is something I love to see. I'm in the cutoff with pocket 6s. It limps to me, and I pop it up to 15 and get 2 calls, including the guy from the first hand that allegedly bluffed us off a chop. So looking to get some payback, and I think it might come when the flop comes 6, 7, 5. Bang, we flop middle set. That's right. It checks to me, an obvious bet spot here. I bet for $20, and both of them call. Now, if you thought the king was a shitty turn card in the first hand, how about the 8 of hearts? Oh my god. I mean, it doesn't bring in a flush draw, but come on. Just one value bet turn on this guy. It checks to me, and look, I mean, can we be betting this? I think you could make the argument that I've been thinking about this lately. I should bet and then evaluate raises, and the reason I'm thinking about betting is it discourages people from betting into me when I clearly don't have a straight if I check, you know what I mean? But regardless, I check. The river is the ace of clubs, and you know what? We might have the best hand. But the first guy blasts into us for $100. Of course, the second guy snap folds, so now there's a decision on me. I was told he bluffed me the first hand, and he flips over an ace, a red ace. That is not good. Now, is it a 9? Is it a 4? He shows it to the guy he showed it to the first time, and he starts laughing again. And look, if it's a bluff into 2 people, it's a bluff. I put in the fold, and I get told I was bluffed again, but he never shows. So this guy has allegedly punked me twice. But let's just gonna say that that is not the last hand we're gonna have against him. Just a wee bit tilted after that one. I look down at ace-9 and put in the limp. A pretty aggressive player I've played with before raises $25 on my left. Ace-9 should probably just be a fold, but I don't want to. I put in the call. What's the worst thing that could happen? How about an ace-high board? I check and get bet into by the raiser. That does sound like maybe the worst thing that could happen. He bets out for $55. It's big again. This guy loves to just blast, blast, blast. And if I flopped an ace against this guy, should I be folding the flop? I think the answer is no, but I do need to be wary that he is going to chip the turn. It's going to happen whether he has it or not. I mentally prepare myself, sack up, and I put in the call. The turn is a 6 of hearts. Would have loved a 9, but in theory now, if he's got ace-jack per se, and the river comes a king or a queen, we can find a chop, you know. That's a little bit of equity for a chop per se. I put a check. He's got $75. He looks at me and goes, you know what, buddy, I'm all in. It sticks it in there. Well, I didn't come this far to fold. I don't love it. I don't love it, but I put in the call. Before the river is dealt, he flips over pocket kings. I mean, thank you. That makes me feel great. The king doesn't come on the river, and we win another big pot just like that. Also, I feel bad for this guy because a few hands later, he literally flopped middle set against top set against an overpair, got it in 3 ways with middle set against top set, and lost. So really tough run of cards for that guy. We've got one more hand to go, and dare I say it's the craziest. A couple of things before we get there. I really enjoyed my time here at PH Social. I don't know if I mentioned that time is $10 an hour for my Dallas folk as of now. So I had a really good time. I'll definitely be recording more vlogs there in the future. The next vlog, by the way, is going to be some TCH 2.5 where we play some deep stack big boy poker. You won't want to miss it. So literally as this last hand was getting dealt, I got a notification that my phone was out of storage. So I wasn't able to record it, but it was just a hand so crazy we had to go over it. I've got ace-4 diamonds under the gun. I talk about this all the time. I just don't think there's any point to opening small suited aces because at 1-2 you're going to get flat called by ace-jack, ace-queen, and sometimes even ace-king and be in no man's land on ace-high board. So I want to just limp and have people limp with me with like 9-3 of diamonds and stack them. You know what I mean? Anyways, but I actually do end up opening it under the gun. I get a call, and then it gets to the small blind, who is the guy that's allegedly bluffed us twice, and he raises to 65. Probably should just be a fold here, but I really want to get him, so I put in the call, and the other guy folds. Heads up to a flop of 8-5-6 with 2 diamonds. Hello. He's got like 350 in a stack, and I immediately think about just shipping in there. He does bet for $70. Now, if I bet jam, I really don't think this guy's folding an overpair to me ever, but what can we get to fold? Ace-king, ace-queen, ace-jack, all hands that are ahead of us, and unless he has a hand that is aces or better, we have a mountain of equity against any big overpair or just an 8. So I end up putting him all in, and he snap calls. That is not what I wanted to see. He asked me once or twice. We're going once, you know it. The turn is a 7. And the river is a jack, neither of which a diamond. We have the bottom end of the straight, which I think is good. I tell him straight. The dealer says, prove it. I do. And the other guy says, you're good. And we win a massive pot. At the end of the day, my first session at PH Social, we were in for 300, out for 1273. Nearly a $1,000 win. Really happy with that. So if you guys can leave a sub, so close to 4K subs, I will see you guys later this week.